Hello everyone! This video is going to show you some classroom settings that you can change if you are using the business version of ClassIn. These settings are only available for the business version. So that means you cannot change these settings for the free version and you cannot change them for the pro, also known as the individual teacher version. So you might be thinking, which version do I have? Well, first, log into your dashboard. You can only have a dashboard if you have a paid version of ClassIn. Once you log into your dashboard on the ClassIn webpage, you can see which edition that you have. So I can see I have the business edition of ClassIn. So now let's take a look at the settings that you can change for your classroom. So over on the left side, you want to go all the way down to the profile tab, profile section, and click on setting. There are lots of settings here, but I'm only going to focus on the classroom setting today. So this is where you can also change your skins. So a lot of people know about the skins. I did a video on how to create your own skins, but with the with the business version and the school version, you can set a skin for your classroom so it's automatically loaded when you enter your classroom. You don't have to create it yourself. You don't have to open it every time you open a classroom. It's automatically there when you enter. So up top, you can choose just to change a skin. And you can also look at the skins warehouse, which has pre-made skins for you. I like this for holidays. But if you want to change the settings for your classroom, you need to go down to the bottom here, the custom classroom. You can see I already have one that I created for myself. You can make multiples. So I'm going to show you how to change your settings from scratch. So first you're going to click on the plus, and the first page is the skins. So here you can select from the skins warehouse. So I'll just choose one here. Or you can just do the plain black or plain color. That is up to you. But you also have to name the classroom setting. So that way it's just like naming a file. So here I'm just going to call it test. If you forget to do this and get all the way to the end, like I did the first time I did this, it'll just tell you you have to give it a name. And I went back and gave it a name and everything was fine. So I named it test. And then I'm going to go to my next, which is the switches, or I can click next here, and it goes to my switches tab. This is where you can customize things in your classroom for either you, your student, or for both of you. I'm not going to go through every single one because there are a lot of different things here. I'm just going to focus on a few of them that I think are important, but keep in mind to look carefully if it's going to change something for you, your student, or for both of you, because there's different types of settings. So you could change the little buttons you see under you or your student. The note, you can hide that for your student, so it always tells you who it's for. You can hide the chat for you and the student, the roster button for the student, the evaluation windows. You can set up your tools, which ones you want to see. So if you don't use all the tools, you can just uncheck them so you don't have to worry about seeing them every single time you click on the toolbox. This is an important one that I was excited to see because when I first switched over to business, every time I opened my drive, which I do in every class, it was frustrating that it was always went to the authorized section first. Well, I don't work for a school, so of course I have nothing in the authorized. So I had to constantly, every single time I entered a new class, I had to click on my drive. Well, this changes it. You can click on it to open your drive when you open your classroom. That way your materials are there and you don't have to constantly click on my drive every single time. Let's keep moving. All right, this is an important one. Number 9, close permission setting of coursewares and teaching tools for authorized students. So if you're like me, I just keep my student authorized because it's a pain having to click, unclick the crown. It's easier just to leave it on. But then you have the issue of those students who like to click on everything. So if you have courseware, that means like PowerPoint or PDF or the browser, they are able to exit out of that courseware if they are authorized. Well, this button forbids students to close coursewares and teaching tools. That will not let them exit out of your courseware. So that little X for them will be blocked off. They cannot exit, but it does not stop them from minimizing your courseware or changing the slides in your PowerPoints. It only forbids them from exiting out completely. I cross my fingers, hope that one day ClassIn will add a setting to keep them from doing anything else with the courseware as well, but at least it stops them from closing it. So that little hand raising, you can hide that so the student, if you have one of those students that loves to see the yellow guy waving his hand, you can turn that off. This is another important one, number 11. Authorized students roll the Blackboard setting. So the Blackboard, of course, is what you see when you enter your class, your Blackboard. A lot of teachers use the Blackboard for their lessons, for make EDBs or for typing out or writing. Well, if your student is authorized, you have the crown, that student can scroll, because if you know, you can continuously scroll for 50 pages. This will forbid them from scrolling and rolling that Blackboard. So only the teacher can scroll or roll the Blackboard, not the student. That is a very important setting that you want to turn on so the student cannot do that. All right, keep moving. I'm going to skip most of these. You can look through them yourself if you want to see other settings that are available. Now I'm going to go to Next. Now it's my Settings tab. All right, this one is also important, and I'm going to tell you what I do and why I do it. So this is for the recording countdown. So it's automatically set to 10 minutes. So when you enter your class, you see this little box that has a countdown for the time or for the recording to begin automatically. Of course, there's a button that you can click to start it at any time before that 10 minutes is up, but you can change this all the way from 20 minutes max down to 0 minutes, so starting automatically. I set it for the max of 20 minutes, and this is why. For the business version, you are charged per minute of recording. So even if your student is not there and the recording is on, you are being charged for it. Well, my students' parents that are watching these recordings don't need to see me sitting there waiting for their child to enter the class. They don't need that, and I'm paying for that. So I set it for the max. I usually enter my class anywhere from a second before class time to 5 minutes. So if I enter 5 minutes early, I still have 20 minutes, which is 15 minutes after the class time, before I have to automatically start recording. So if the student's not there, I just wait and wait and wait. And then once the student enters, then I can start the recording. So I'm not paying for any time of the student not being there. I also don't stay more than 15 minutes after class start time if the student is a no-show. So even if I get there 5 minutes early, 15 minutes after class is 20 minutes, I'm able to leave second before that timer ends and the recording starts. So I'm not paying for the class because the student never showed up, and I'm not paying for any recording because I left before the recording began. So that's the way I do my recordings. Do what's best for you, but keep in mind you are paying for every minute of recording, even if the student's not there. So put that into account when you choose this timer. All right, keep moving. We have the chat boxes. Trophy. I like this feature. So this is the default trophy that your students get, and they have trophies that you can choose from. I really liked this during Chinese New Year. I did the Year of the Tiger. My students were surprised, excited when they saw the Tiger trophy pop up because they weren't expecting it. They have it for the other years. They have it for Christmas, Halloween. So that is always something fun you can do during the holidays. So you can change your trophy. And that brings us to the end. So now I'm going to click Done. So now I have two different custom classrooms. If you are using one or the other, make sure you click on the one that you want. So if I want to use this one, I need to click on it. And I can see everything that it looks like on the tablet. on the computer or on a cell phone. But if I want to switch back to my original, I can click on that one as well. So hopefully you got some ideas of how you can make your classroom customizable for the way that you want to use it. And it helps minimize some distractions for your students as well. Hopefully this video helps you. And if you have any questions, please let me know.